Why hello. Before I start this video, I just want to give a quick explanation of why I'm talking about these games. The games in the video are/were bad games in the realm of bugged beyond hell, terrible story, poor mechanics, or hell, all three, but somehow keeping the fans coming back. Now that we got that out the way, we can begin the video. But wait! There are many games I could be talking about in this video, but I only wanted to talk about 3 or 4. So I'm gonna roll a list of all the games that could have made the list, but didn't. Roll it.
War. War never changes. War. War never changes. War. War never changes. War. War never changes.
War. War never changes.
Hope this interaction doesn't lead to any kind of fallout between us. Fallout New Vegas.
Now, it's probably no surprise why Fallout's on this list. For anybody who plays the games know, these games do not fucking work. But I love these games. I live and breathe Fallout. It is my favorite thing ever. But no matter how many mods, duct tape, hope, and will cannot fix the problem with these games. For a short little expose for the people in the back who never played Fallout, they're split into 2 tiers, the East Coast games and the West Coast games. The East Coast games are made by fucking Bethesda. That's a rabbit hole in itself, we'll get to that in a second. And then the West Coast games made by Blackout Studios and Obsidian. We will not be talking about the first 2 Fallout games because those are an O tier in their own. We're going to be talking about the first person shooter era, which is Fallout 3, New Vegas, 4, and fucking Rush 2.0. I shall not say that game's name. It all started in 2008 with Fallout 3. To the critics, it was a smashing hit, but for those who played it on any console, the game was buggy as shit, and the story, yeah, the story was not so good. Then we fast forward to 2010 with Fallout New Vegas, made by Obsidian, the remnants of Blackout Studios. Now, I love New Vegas. I think it's the best Fallout, but I can admit that game is just Fallout 3 2.
Geeked up, playing Xbox all day.
Same problems, buggy as shit. Depending on the console you played, it could have been worse on PS3, Xbox. Then we have Fallout 4, 2015, Bethesda's magnum opus of the Fallout games. And mechanically, it's the best Fallout. But here's where Bethesda shines, they're lazy. The story is just Fallout 3's story, but kind of flipped. Fallout 3, find your dad. Fallout 4, find your son. It's just kind of shitty.
Ooh, just doing your job. Protecting Diamond City means keeping me out, is that it? Oh, look, it's the scary reporter. Boo.
The fuck? Who is it? What? I should kick your fucking ass. Who is this?
Now, Fallout 4 falls into the Bethesda formula as well. Game is buggy as shit. Fans have mods to fix it. The whole shebang, the whole shaboom, right? You're probably thinking, why do you still play it if you have so much to say about it? Fallout is just really cool. I really like it. It has so much cool lore. The side characters are awesome. The side quests are fucking awesome. The games are good, but they're trapped in that bubble of Bethesda's lockjaw of not making good fucking games. Even with their other works, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, they cannot, Starfield, they cannot fucking make a game work for the life of them. And that's why I think the Fallout series are good, bad games. They have so many style points in lore, pizzazz, look, whatever you want to call it, but the game itself is held back by a studio that doesn't know how to fucking make games. I'm going to put down the Fallout torch now. I'm going to talk about a different game now.
Gonna be an ambush, no doubt. Just focus. You're better than that.
Wake the fuck up, samurai. We have a city to burn.
Now I'm sure I don't even need to introduce this game. Cyberpunk 2077 is notorious for one of the worst gaming launches in history. It was filled with bugs, false promises, just anything but what the fuck they showed at E3 or even hinted at in the game.
Is this game worth it? Does that answer your question?
Now, before I go more in depth into Cyberpunk, I just want to say I love this game. The Cyberpunk genre is like up there with my love for Fallout. I gravitate to anything with it. I love it. And I do love Cyberpunk, the game. It is amazing, great story. I love fucking Johnny Silverhand, shout out Keanu. I just love the game, it's really cool. But I can admit, it has not been this cool. Well, it wasn't that cool back in the day in 2020 through like 2022. The game was very busted and broken. And I played the game during that time, glitched the fuck out. But the story and everything in the world kept me playing. But man, that game was fucking rough.
Calm down, for fuck's sake!
See, my gripe with this game is the fact they had all the time in the world to make this game perfect down to the T. See, for some reason, the whole new age of gaming, everyone just expects bugs and glitches. Like, it's not a real game if it doesn't have fucking 8 months worth of patch notes to make it good. Gosh. Cyberpunk was announced in 2012. They had almost a decade to make this game pixel perfect. But no, I don't know what went on with production, but simply, they were fucking bullshitting. But to give the studio their fucking flowers, they have been making patches and fixes to the game for many, many moons now. And the game, it's in a really good place. And honestly, it saved the view of the game in some people's eyes. Because a lot of people did not want to play this game because it was buggy in 2020. But since the Phantom Liberty DLC, all the 2.0 fixes, honestly, it brought the game back. Does anybody remember Setsubo no Shima from Black Ops 3? Niggas to this day refuse to play that back because it was buggy in 2016. Let this shit go. That was almost 10 years ago. Also, with the Phantom Liberty DLC, they brought me Songbird, which wins my fucking vote. If you ask me, hey, I wanna fuck that clanker!
Stop jacking off the cartoon characters.
But yeah, there's not much to say more about Cyberpunk. It was once in a very, very poor state. Genuinely a bad game at once upon a time. But over the years, it's gotten better. And I hate the fact it took almost 4 or 5 years for the game to be in its state now, which is really sad. But I'm glad it went from one of the most horrific launches, fucking wet farts left on the gaming industry, to one of the best games I've ever played. It is amazing, and I simply love the game, and I'm glad the studio put the time and effort to fucking fix it, because most fucking studios dropped the game. Dragon's Dogma 2, Capcom dropped that shit like 2 months after it launched with all the bugs. So, hey, some studios have love and care, some just want profit. You win some, you lose some. So, was Cyberpunk a bad game? Hell yeah. But is it bad now? Nowhere close. Amazing game, but its notorious failed launch is what makes it eligible for this goddamn list, because it was terrible at the start, but now it's better. But some games don't get that luxury. Cyberpunk was able to break the mold. Now we're gonna drop this topic and head to the next game. Oh yeah, Pan Am. I can't forget about her. Who doesn't like her sweet ass?
Stop jacking off the cartoon characters.
Well, hello again. Sorry for the little brief intermission, but I have to give context to the next part of the video here, because this part of the video is a lot longer than the first 2 parts because I had a lot to say. I'm a massive fanboy of the franchise this game is from, and I'm not playing favorites here, but I kind of glazed the game a bit, but don't worry, I gave it the criticism it deserved to be on this list for, and the flowers it also deserved at the same time. Now that I've said that, it's time to get back on schedule.
You know I'm going to lose. I got plans for fools, but that's the way I like it, baby. I don't want to live forever. And don't forget the Joker.
Yeah, but you can call me Dante the Demon Killer. Has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
you've heard me say this about 2 other games, but Devil May Cry is also one of my favorite things ever. I love this series. I love the franchise. It is fucking awesome.
I don't understand a thing in this game, bro. This game has done nothing but just confuse me, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand what's going on.
But we're not talking about the main Devil May Cry games today. We're talking about the failed reboot DmC Devil May Cry. For the ones in the back who never heard of this game, because Capcom's been trying to scrub this game off their fucking record for the past decade, but in 2013, DmC Devil May Cry was released as a reboot to the DmC franchise. And we all hear the horror stories of corporations making changes, bringing in new directors, and rebooting a beloved IP and making it something completely different of what the hell the original was. Now, DmC Devil May Cry, its claim to fame of what made it different from the rest of the series was the fact it was going to be more adult, gritty, rugged, just adulterated.
You don't look a day over 12,000.
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Oh yeah! Have you noticed how his hair is black, unlike Virgil in the original sense of this fucker? He's so cool and edgy, he dyed his hair black! Fuck! Now, I like the idea of it, I really do. A more mature, gritty story in the DmC IP? Well, I'm saying that term. But I like the idea of it taking itself more seriously. But in the way that they were doing it, pretty much, how do I put this? Blood, tits, and rock and roll doesn't make a story gritty. And just because you say shit, fuck, cunt, doesn't make you a edgy protagonist. Now, besides the tonal shift of the vibe of the series, they also made changes to the characters, the backstories, and pretty much the way things kind of work in Devil May Cry. Now, before I dissect things even more, I just want to list off the things I like, because there are a lot of positives, but there are some negatives. Well, a lot of negatives. It made the list for a reason, but I just want to start off with just the nice entree before I give it the shit cake. For starters, I love the way the game is shot and directed and the way it looks in general. The game looks really good. I love the style of it between Limbo and the real world. Really good. And the way it's shot and directed, the camera follows our characters like a older movie, 1980s, where the camera sways and follows you. I love that shit. And then the combat is really good. It may not be as complex and detailed as DMC4, but it's really good for what it is. It's not too simple, but it's also not too complicated, which is fine. At the core of these games, they're hack and slashes. I know everyone likes to get the fucking max style meter, SSS, but sometimes you just want to just fucking press buttons. And then the weapon switcher and then the mechanics. In DmC Devil May Cry, there's no skills like Trickster, Royal Guard, but replacing that, they give you a roll button, which is fine. Sometimes you won't use it, but it does come in clutch when you need it. And then the way the weapons work, you have the Rebellion, which is your basic triangle or Y, and then you have the angel weapons and then the demonic weapons where you hold L2 or R2 to use. And there's a sickle, fucking, I think, kunai, an axe, and demonic hands, which are all pretty cool. The demonic hands fucking suck in my opinion, but the scythe, and the demon axe are really cool. And then for guns, you have your basic, the iconic ebony and ivory. You have a shotgun. I think you have a fucking flare gun. I don't use that thing for the most part. I just use the fucking 2 pistols, ebony and ivory. They're cool and they work. The other ones, they kind of just, yeah, they're there in DmC Devil May Cry, but hey, anything to increase the style meter. So that's more or less the positives. I like the way the game plays, I like the way it looks, and I love the cutscenes. It has fucking max style points, max charisma, but where it shits the bed is its physique, the way the story mows on. In this adaptation of Devil May Cry, our protagonist, Dante, is no longer a witty, funny guy that's half demon, half human. But now he's a edgy guy that fucks, and he says fuck and he has angel and demonic powers.
Then you're not on the list. I am now.
For the most part, this Dante isn't the worst DMC 2 Dante exists, but more or less this just isn't Dante. Like, I feel like if this game wasn't tied to the DMC franchise and was its own thing, it would have fared a bit more, but it would have still had the same problems it still has. But I feel like people would have kind of left a little leeway room. It was its own thing, starting its new thing, but since it was tied to Devil May Cry, that's where people got mad the most. I haven't even brought up DMC Devil May Cry Virgil yet. That guy's
That fucking faggot.
besides the dickhead wearing a fucking fedora, he's just not Virgil. Virgil himself in the main series is a fucking powerhouse. He seeks power, nothing's gonna stop him in the way of getting power. Where's your motivation? And in DMC Devil May Cry, our Virgil is a goddamn Redditor.
Your point? Meningitis is a human affliction. You are not human, Dante. All war is fought with deception, and you have been deceived. Don't be so simplistic. Humans are frail. They're like children. They need protection.
He wears a fedora. He admits he's not qualified in physical activities, but he has worries in other positions of his criteria. And the dynamic between him and Dante pretty much goes, Dante, you're stronger than me. You need to do this while I do this because I'm more intelligent. And it's just not the duo of Dante and Virgil in the mainline series. Those two knew they both could, how do I put this? Put the pedal to the fucking metal.
Don't you dare say it, jackpot!
And then the story. The story is just, it's forgettable. It's mid. It's just, yeah. The thing about DMC, the mainline series, what gives it its charm is the cast that rolls with you, the styles, the skills, and just the overall feeling of wanting to get every mission S rank, find every secret mission. And this game just doesn't have that overall feeling of Devil May Cry to even win over newcomers. And I get it, it's a reboot and it wanted to do something different, but at the same time it missed the biggest mark of what made Devil May Cry itself special. Even if you change all the stuff with the story and everything, you're still dumbed down to 3 uninteresting characters. A Dante who isn't witty, funny, a Virgil who's not even, he's a fucking dork, and then Kat. She's just girl's character. And not even saying that in a bad way, like she's just there.
Well, you know what I think? Who cares what you think? You're a girl now.
And then the villains being uninteresting, hell, not even memorable. It's just not a pleasant Devil May Cry experience. It's just not DMC. And this part of the video is reaching damn near 10 minutes, so I have to wrap it up. But DMC Devil May Cry had a lot of ambition, and it really tried to be something new and different, but it fails to emulate what made DMC special, and that's why this game falls flat. Now, would I recommend this game based on the story? No. Would I recommend it on the gameplay? Yeah. Would I recommend it as a Devil May Cry game? No. But as a hack and slash? Yeah, it's pretty good, but for the most part, the fucking pros and cons to this game are damn near split. That's why this part of the segment is 10 minutes. So I'm going to put this torch down and finally head to our last part of the video because I got a lot to say about the other one.
Come on, let the fuse, he's a rocket and he's ready to go. Cause now the countdown has started and he's ready to blow. He's got the dope sounds bumping and his stereo. Yo, fast, putting on the show. Don't wanna get yourself together, there's no time to rest. this, and if you put the time in, he'll put you to.
What do you think you're doing? Wait, no!
Now it is time to talk about Sonic 2006. For those who don't know, but I'm pretty sure we all know, this game is top 5 worst pieces of shit to hit the gaming space in the last 20 fucking years. This game is just, from top to bottom, buggy, broken, story terrible, poor mechanics. Everything about this game is just the pinnacle of a bad fucking game. And before I even attack the problems this game has, because it has a lot of them, I'm going to give a little brief history of why this game's production was filled with hell and why the game turned out the way it did. So pretty much after the Sega Dreamcast failed, Sega decided to put their games on other consoles, Microsoft, Sony, etc. If the console worked, Sonic was going to be on. And sometime after that notion, they started development for Sonic 2006. But this game's problem started in the direct middle of this game's development because the fucking director decided to leave and take half the staff to work on Sonic and the Secret Rings for the Nintendo Wii. Man, did that fuck up everything. And to make things worse, Sega decided to rush the fucking development even more to get the game out in a timely manner. So the game had a half-baked staff, a rushed time limit, and overall just not the proper care a video game should have in its development.
Metal. They are scattered all over Soleil.
Did Tails just kill himself?
The problems extend to the story, the voice acting, level designs. It's all just not good. Mix it all with poor rushed mechanics. It's just all bad, and I do not recommend this game.
It's no use! Take this! It's no use!
Now that I've showed you how bad the game is, you're probably expecting me to talk about the story now. But honestly, I'm not going to talk about the story because it is complicated as fuck, and there are videos over 2+ hours dissecting how exactly bad it is. It is a time travel story, and my friend once told me, making a time travel story is like working at GameStop. I know that's a weird analogy, but stay with me. Pretty much he said, it's not a hard job, but it's easy to fuck up. And that makes a lot of sense for a time travel story, for some reason. And I don't want to make this video longer dissecting the story, so I'm breaking the fourth wall here, and I'm telling you now, I'm not doing that shit, and we're gonna move on. And you're probably thinking, since it's all bad, where's the good in all this?
It's no use!
Alright, well, you're probably thinking, where's all the bad?
It's no use!
Like I was trying to say, since it's all bad and everything,
It's no use!
shut the fuck up! Just had to kill a fucking hedgehog. But like I was saying, since it's all bad, where's the good in all of it? There's not. Sonic 2006 is a bad game. There's nothing good about it. It's just a bad game from every angle and every aspect. But some mad lad of the name of Chaos X decided to remake the game and make it better. And all the gameplay I recorded for this part of the video is from his project, and it's called Sonic Project 06. It is amazing, and he is a god amongst men for remaking this game and somewhat changing the view on the wet fart Sonic 2006 left on the fucking Sonic IP. Chaos X has been working on this game for the past 7 to 8 years, fixing all of Sega's mistakes and fuck-ups. He's been doing this for free. I'm gonna emphasize that. For free, remaking an entire game that Sega fucked up tremendously on. Starting off the list for what he changed/fixed to make this game better is he put it in the Unity engine. He put it in a brand new engine from the ground up, and he's been working off that since. And the addition to the new engine, he's been fixing the characters, the skills, the emeralds, just everything wrong with Sonic 2006. Chaos has been making it his mission to fix that and make the game for the better, and good golly, he's done it. And he removed the god-awful story.
Chaos control!
But he kept every single mission from all the 10 Sonic's levels, all the 10 Shadows levels, and all the Silver's levels. The final boss levels aren't in the game yet, but he's currently working on that, and I'm sure the final release will come out sometime this year. Sonic PS6 is an amazing game, works fantastically, and Chaos X is a fucking saint for remaking this game. And it shows, if Sega would have gave this game more time in the oven and care, it could have been something great. The story, yeah, that's who.
Fortunately, as a gamer, I don't get respect.
Well, I'm not a gamer, so maybe they'll respect me.
That just makes you a beta cuck. That's the difference.
The story is left to be desired, but I think it's time to wrap up the video now. Sonic 2006 is a bad game, but Chaos X, a very dedicated fan, showed this game could have been something a lot more. It could have been a good bad game in the realm of not so good story, but great mechanics. But Sega, they wanted to have all three of the fucking attributes. So now, I think it's time we wrap this long ass video up. Hello. I just wanted to wrap off this video saying thank you all for watching. I had fun making this video, and I might do a part 2. I don't know, good games that are bad, but for the most part, my name is IZANAGI. Thank you all for watching, and I hope I said some things that made you laugh, said some things that made you mad about the games you like, just something fun. Goodbye, everybody. See you next time.